Welcome to the Dark Nook Monster Shop. Well, it's Halloween, and that means pumpkins. Foam pumpkins. So in this video, I'm going to make a foam pumpkin. These all start basically the same way. First, I rough out a drawing of the face really fast. Then, I use my enchanted hobby knife that I got from Dumbledore's estate sale. Pro tip, wizards always enchant their office supplies. So, exacto! I trim all around the eyes and mouth and pull off this vinyl skin that coats the pumpkin. Then I pick out the foam. I test out the eyes to make sure that they'll fit and sit relatively evenly. Next, I coat the inside of the eye hole with foam clay. Then, I make two little balls of foam clay and put them right in the center of each eye. This lets me smush and position the cabochon eyes a bit so they look even and like they're looking in the same direction. Then, I set that aside to dry and I make a bunch of teeth. This is super simple, because looking jagged and crooked and uneven just makes these teeth look better, so I don't have to do a good job, just zero effort. And I made the teeth too big. Or I made the mouth too small, it really depends on your perspective. So, I perform a delicate mouth embiggening procedure, also known as Canadianification.
Hey, buddy!
I hot glue a piece of scrap styrofoam to the bottom of the pumpkin. Then, I trim off the excess foam to roughly follow the shape of the pumpkin. Then, I glue the top back on and discover now it won't stand up because it's way too top heavy. So, I have to poke in some toothpicks to make the base a bit wider and more stable. But now my pumpkin has weird little pumpkin legs. I hit the inside of the mouth with a heat gun, but not too much because it's held together with hot glue. So, what to do about these dumb pumpkin legs? How about I cover them with more foam and make them into dumb pumpkin nubs? Like, maybe it's one of those weird artisanal ornamental pumpkins that always look like there's something wrong with it. Like, no, seriously, those pumpkins always look like something's wrong. Like you need to pull the farmer aside and go, dude, I think there's something wrong on your land, man. It's not, those aren't supposed to look like that. I'll build this up to what I need, just enough to hide the sticks. Then I'll let that dry, and then I'll go back over that with some foam clay just to fill in the gaps and round out the shape a bit more. Next, I smooth it out with some Mod Podge and a stiff bristled brush. This is just phase 1. I'm going to sculpt over most of this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. One benefit of foam clay is you can always sculpt another layer right on top of the last one and fix any issues. And then, the power went out. When the power came back on, I set the pumpkin up in front of a fan to dry. Now it's time for the lips. I want to give him big, expressive lips, but I want them to look like lips that wouldn't look too out of place on a pumpkin with a face, so I'm going to over-detail them and then blend that detail back a little bit with some water. But first, I rough out the basic shape. Remember my sculpting order of operations. Cover, shape, detail. In phase 1, you just cover the armature. In phase 2, you sculpt the rough shapes and the proportions. In phase 3, you add detail and refine. You fix your errors. So it's okay if the first pass doesn't look exactly like it's supposed to yet. This stage is all about coverage and rough shape. I build up the brow and the nose and blend them into the pumpkin's surface. As I cover parts of the face, I'm also shaping and sculpting wrinkles and folds into the skin. Then, I go over that with some Mod Podge and a brush to soften and smooth it out a little. Next, I use that stiff brush to tap in some pore texture and a little putty spatula thing to slice in a bunch of lipstick lines. That is the correct term for those lip wrinkles, by the way. Lipstick lines. I looked it up. What did they call them before lipstick was a thing? I put some black clay in the back of the mouth and cover up any spots where you might see the foam bits are glued together. I'm using a different color so you can see the stages a bit more clearly in the sculpting process. I build up around the stem, and then I need to really fill in around these pumpkin nubs. It looks like a Pokemon at this stage. Or maybe that SCP-999, the cute one. So I build up around the base a bit and add some material to fill out and try and create the lumpy curved pumpkin shape. Just any part that really sticks out to the eye gets blended and smoothed over a bit now. I'm just trying to hide any shape that doesn't look like it belongs there. Now this is kind of cheating, because I made this texture stamp from a pumpkin. So now I'm using a pumpkin texture stamp to stamp pumpkin texture on a pumpkin. And then I smooth that out a bit around the edges with some water and a stiff brush. Next, I add some more wrinkles and detail, a bit of texture here and there. Now it's time for the best part, the teeth. This guy is all eyes and teeth. First, I smush in some clay to be his gums, and then I start sticking the pre-made teeth into the gums. Now, for a second, just a second, I thought about leaving some gaps for missing teeth. I thought that might look good. But then, of course, it's me, so I end up jamming a tooth into every available space. It was all I could do to just stay with one row. I use a sculpting tool to fix and position the teeth, and then I use a dental tool to sculpt wrinkles around the eyes. Irony! Okay, time for paint. First, I have to cover the eyes with liquid latex. This will keep paint off of them and saves me having to clean them over and over and over again. First, I base the whole guy out in black. Now, here's the thing. Once the base coats tied this all together, I noticed I really didn't like some of the lines and how they looked, so I wanted to round it out a bit more. And one of the great things about foam clay, you can just add some more. So, I just added some more. And then I texture it with the pumpkin texture stamp. Then I blend it all down with Mod Podge and base it out in black again. Then I hit it with a dark blue around the eyes and mouth and low points, and after that a dark red. And then a slightly lighter red. Then a bit lighter and brighter on the lips, but just the edge, and then I blend it off. After that, I hit the teeth with a white base. But I use a cotton swab to do it so it doesn't get down into the cracks like a brush would. I mix some Mod Podge with pink and paint the gums pink. And then I blend in a little line of pink right along the lipstick lines. After that, I paint another coat of white on the teeth, but this time I use a brush. So now, for all the low points and cracks in the teeth, this is their first and only coat of white. It makes the high points a little brighter and the low points a little duller. The effect is subtle, but it does look really good. So then, I hit it with a little yellow wash and wet blend in some greenish brown. Now, check this out. I'm using a dollar store makeup blush brush to dry brush this guy in orange. This method really catches just the high points better than any paintbrush I've ever used. Even when you dab, not just when you drag. Like I'm trying to get a little coverage on the lowest bits and it's actually difficult. Now a blush brush like this is not made for paint, so this will eventually ruin the brush and it will shed fibers like a sick cat. But it'll work great for a while, and hey, it only cost $1. I use the same base orange, but I keep adding more and more yellow to it to lighten it as I do lighter and lighter passes with this dry brush. Eventually I'm just dry brushing yellow directly onto it with a chip brush for the highlights. This highlighting process is why this thing ends up looking so good on camera. Yet it looks kinda meh in person, if I'm being honest. To the naked eye, this looks kind of dull. But when I put it under these lights, it just pops on camera. That doesn't happen very often. I spray a slightly brown wash with a bit of Mod Podge mixed into it, into the low points. And then just one more whisper pass of yellow to give it a little glow. Now it's time to peel off the latex for that oh so satisfying eye reveal. I like how it turned out, but honestly I feel like I kinda lost the pumpkin. I clean up the edges around the eyes, I paint a little glossy red around the eye to touch up any spots that the latex might have blocked from getting painted. When that's dry, I brush some UV resin over the teeth and lips and light it up with a UV light. And with that, this foam pumpkin is all done. Thanks for checking out my video. Please remember to hit like and subscribe for more Dark Nook monsters.